Hi Sewers and aspiring Sewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Doyen, and in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to make this double welt pocket. So if this looks like what you're interested in, then you want to keep watching this video till the end. So in order to achieve this, these are the basic materials we're going to be working with. We have the cotton terry fabric for the pocket itself, and we have the plain cotton fabric for the main body itself, and then we have about a yard of stay for this particular tutorial. So this is the cotton terry, and I have about half yard of it. So I'm just going to be cutting out the measurement for the pocket. So I place my fabric on a fold, just as you can see on your screen. Then for the wideness, I'm going to measure 7.5 inches for the wideness of my pocket. So it depends on what you're trying to achieve actually. So for this, I'm working with the side pocket, so I just need about 7.5 inches wideness for the pocket. This is also applicable to a back pocket, a side pocket, and all of that. So for the wideness we have 7.5, while for the length I'm going to measure 6.5. You don't want your pocket to be too long, so I'm just going to measure 6.5. So once I'm done with that, I'm just going to cut out what we have here. So I noticed this isn't straight enough, so I'm just going to straighten it properly. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to put this aside. So for each pocket, you need 2 pieces of this for the main body's pocket, and mind you, the wideness should always be the stretchy part. So for my pocket flap, I'm going to be needing a little portion of this, but mind you, we're working with the same width measurement, which is 7.5, but for the length I'm going to measure 2 inches, and I'm going to mark that on different points, just as seen in this video. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to cut this out as well. So we have 3 pieces in total. So we have 2 pieces already for the main bodies, and we have 1 piece for the flap, the pocket flap. So this is the wideness, and I'm marking, and this is the smaller flap. So on my stay, I'm going to measure 7.5 on my stay, and for the length of my stay, I'm going to measure about 2 inches. So I don't need to mark that. I'm just going to be cutting it out, just as you can see me do right here. So we have 2 pieces for the stay. So this is how we're going to be applying it on the fabric. So the shiny part of the stay is going to be placed on one part of this main pocket bodies, while the other one is going to be placed on this smaller one, just as in this video. So this is basically what we're going to be working with. So now the main fabric itself, now it's time to mark the position of the pocket. So this is the main fabric I'm going to be working with. This is the main body. So from the down part here, because this is a jacket body, from the down part here I'm going to come up by 4 inches. Then on this side here, because I want to make it slant, on this side I'm going to come in by 4 inches as well. So from this point here, I'm going to come up by 6 inches. So for the wideness of my pocket is going to be 6 inches. So I'm just going to mark that point here. Then on this point on the other side, I'm going to come in by 6 inches. So it depends on how slant you want the shape of your pocket to be. You can come in by 7, you can come in by 8, depending on how slanted you want it to be. So from that point, I'm going to just mark that point. I'm going to mark a point, then slant it towards this other point here. So on the upper part, we have 6 inches measured there, while on the lower part, we have 4 inches measured inward. So if you want your line to be straight, all you just need to do is measure 4 inches downward, 4 inches upward. I hope you are clear on this.
Hi Sewers, compliment of the season. I am here to inform you that we're going to be running a discount on all courses. So we're going to be running a 20% discount on all courses available. So if you're interested in upgrading your skill, you want to learn more about how to make t-shirts, hoodie, joggers, varsity jackets, and all of those good stuffs embedded in streetwear, now is the opportunity for you to learn all of these things. So please kindly click on the link in the description to register for any of those courses, and I will see you in class, guys. Bye.
So whichever design you decide to work with, just know that the shorter piece is not going to be the one housing the pocket. The lower piece is going to be the one housing the pocket. So this is a larger fabric. This is the one that would house the pocket. So I'm already gonna head to apply my stay on both, just as you can see on your screen. So the shorter part is not going to house the pocket. It is the larger fabric that is going to, or the larger piece that is going to house the pocket. So the next thing you want to do is to space it out a little, such that the mark is very visible, then pin on both sides. So I'm just going to secure each side by pinning down, just as you can see, so I can clearly see what I am sewing on. So you can see that the mark is still very obvious from here. So the next thing you want to do here is to mark the point where you're going to be sewing from. So I'm going to mark that point on both sides, just as seen in this video. Then I'm going to be marking the point where I'm going to be sewing on. So the distance from that top side to the down side is going to be 6 inches. So I'm going to mark that point. So you can see that it's actually equivalent to what we've marked previously. But just to be on a safer side and to be sure that you're working with the actual measurement you have in mind, that's why it's important that you mark it. So I'm just going to really in line to show where I'm going to be sewing on. So the distance between that gap is just like about 1 inch, which is okay for the allowance of the double welt pocket. So I'm just going to be sewing on this. So you can see for confirmation what we have here is like 1 inch. So I'm just going to start my sewing from this point here and end on this other point here. So all you just need to do is follow the line. So from one point here and stop on this other point. Then do the same thing on the other side. It is as basic as that. So the essence of this line is to follow your measurements so that you don't have one side looking longer than the other. I hope you understand. So the next thing you want to do here is to create an opening in between, just as seen in this video. So I'm going to be notching towards the left at the top side here. I'm also going to make sure that it is closer to my sewing, not beyond it, but closer. Then on this other side, I'm going to notch towards the right, making sure that it is closer to my sewing as well. Then on this down side, I'm going to be notching towards the left, just like I did previously at the top side. I'm going to notch towards the left, then notch towards the right as well, making sure that it is closer, but not beyond my stitch. I hope you understand. So from this point here, then we can now put in our button. So I'm going to take in this shorter one first, just as you can see me do right here. Then I'm going to bring out a little part of it, a little portion of about 0.25 or about 0.5. Yeah, about 0.5, because the space in between was 1 inch. So 0.5 on two sides is going to give us 1 inch. So I'm going to take in about 0.5 on this other side as well, just as you can see me do right here. So all you just need to do here is to balance it properly, just as I am doing here. It's that simple. So you are going to turn it over to the wrong face to properly balance it here. You just make sure that it's properly balanced here. So on this other side here, on the side of my pocket, you can see that there is a little portion of fabric here looking like a triangular shape, which was part of what we notched out. So you are going to properly balance your pockets here and sew on that triangular leftover fabric. So I'm going to be sewing on I'm going to tuck the fabric in and sew on its outside. So after you tuck in the notch part on the side, you should be having something like this, something in form of a triangular shape. So you are going to be sewing on this triangular shape. So make sure that you are sewing exactly on it and not beyond. You are not sewing beyond, and you are sewing exactly on it. So make sure you are not leaving anyone out, just so that you can have the actual result. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to also repeat the same thing on this other side. I'm going to tuck in the remaining part that looks like a triangular shape, and I'm going to be sewing exactly on the triangular shape. Make sure that you don't leave out anything at this point, and make sure that you are sewing exactly on the triangular shape, just as seen in this video. So once you're sure of all of this, then you're not going to be having any problem. So this is what it looks like. So you can see that it is very easy to achieve. So once you're done with this, the next thing is to seal your pocket, to secure your pocket. So I'm just going to be trimming this part. I'm going to make it equal with the main bodies. Then I'm going to be attaching this other part of our pocket together with this. So I'm going to pin this down and do the same thing at the other side, just to secure her pocket. So basically what we're going to be doing here is to sew around this pocket, around the shape of this pocket. So I'm going to start from here. I'm going to mark that point so you can understand it clearly. I'm also going to mark the downside. This is where I'm going to be sewing on. I'm also going to be sewing on the top side as well. So let's start from this side here. So while doing this, I'm going to make sure that I am sewing exactly on the triangular shape and not also beyond, so that we will not be having a weird shape of pocket. I hope you understand. So I'm just going to follow the shape of my pocket, just as seen in this video. I'm going to sew on this side as well, then I'm going to sew on the top side. Make sure that you sew on the top side. Do not forget to sew on this side, this particular side I'm showing you. Do not forget to sew, because your pocket will not be properly attached if you don't sew on this top side. So this is one of the easiest way I use in, or one of the easiest trick I use in achieving my double welt pocket for streetwear. So this is what it looks like. So if you, this is going to be on your trouser, this is how it is going to be. I hope you understand. So your pocket is facing down, just as seen in this video. So you can decide to weave the sewn part on the inner part of the pocket. So if you enjoyed watching this video and you were able to gain something from this particular video, please kindly let me know in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this particular video, comment and share to your loved ones, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.